FTW Broadcasting here. We're back. Thanks for tuning in. We bring you hot StarCraft 2 action. My name is AWOL, and joining me as always is my boy Danny, and we are a proud partner with the UEN.com. And you're looking at 2v2 action on Discord 4. My pick is going to be the team here in the bottom right-hand corner. Teal Protoss. We're looking at Black Crow. He's going to be hard to handle. I know that for sure. Heaven Blue. Here in the bottom right-hand corner, he's playing as the Purple Terran. He is also on my team. He looks like he's going to be very, very good based on the first 10 seconds of this game. Moving up to Danny's side of the map on the top left-hand corner, Frozen Shadow playing as the Red Terran. Also on that team is Rageface. That's a great name, Danny. Rageface playing as the Blue Protoss. You've got to be happy with his name, at least.
I'm happy with his name. I'm not happy with Frozen Shadow saying that he thinks we're going to lose. It was right off the bat. That's no fun. That's not any kind of attitude. He's like, I don't know. IDK. Hey, just do your best, Rageface. That's good advice in life and StarCraft.
Good job, guys. These guys have a really solid game plan. Clearly, they're not on a pre-made here. So this is going to be... Uh-oh. That's what my mom tells me before I go to school, he says.
That's what my mom used to tell me before I went to school, too.
Yeah.
Just do your best.
This guy... I guess this guy's like... He's implying that he's like maybe like 13 or 14.
Maybe.
Do your best or I'll rip your head off. Oh, man.
He's full of... His face is full of rage.
Oh, man. He's really in character right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing that hot... probe on SCV action, doing a little scouting. Rageface is. And you mentioned, look at his wall off, what a hacker. I don't really know what that means. I don't know what he's talking about. He made one exactly the same as mine. Yeah, everyone does that same wall off. Good choice. Hacker, hacker, hacker. Meanwhile, you said this map is Discourse 4. Rageface surrounded there, probe on probe. While I am a big fan of the Discourse trilogy, I don't feel like they needed to make a fourth one. I think it dilutes the franchise a little bit.
I completely agree with that, and that was very nice, by the way.
He's making a Marine. That's good to know. Look at that.
That is very, very good, and I'm just really trying to wrap my head around this advanced game here from both of these guys. We see Black Crow dropping the Gateway, dropping the Cyber Core, and what is Heaven Blue up to? I mean, he's got his racks. He's building another racks right now, so maybe he's hoping to do an early push. We'll see what happens here. We know that Black Crow's probably going to go more Stalker heavy, getting his second assimilator, realizing he's going to need to move into more of a mid-game build here, and all players on the map kind of have halted scouting altogether at this point.
Yeah, absolutely, and Black Crow and Heaven Blue have not said a word to each other. You got to wonder if maybe they are pre-made. They're talking to each other on vent or voice chat, or maybe they just don't feel like talking to each other. Rageface and Frozen Shadow talking a lot, not really saying anything of value. Meanwhile, Stargate 8 coming up for Rageface. The wall off is complete for Frozen Shadow. He's got his factory, and he said he made a Marine, and he moved it to the Zelnaga. He hasn't really made anything else, though. So I don't know what his overall plan is. He is putting down 2 starports, though, so maybe that's his plan. I wonder what we're going to see pumped out of there. Perhaps Mass Vikings, Laugh Out Loud, Cemetery. Yeah, Cemetery. Very impressive.
Man, this guy is just... He is so proud of himself right now. I wonder, maybe he's going to go double Banshees here. We do see some Phoenixes coming out of the Stargates of Rageface right now. He seems to be pretty angry. These players don't seem that bad to me. They actually seem like they're fairly decent at the game. But they are just talking all kinds of smack between Red and Blue up here. And Marauder Stalker makes some units, he's telling him. I mean, neither side really knows what the other side has right now because they are walled off. So this might all come to a head in like some sort of gigantic battle.
There was a scan by Frozen Shadow. He did scan, and that's what he was saying. He's saying Marauders and Stalkers from our opponents. And Rageface is like, why don't you make some units? Because, well, Frozen Shadow has 1 Marine. He has now finished the tech labs on those starports, though, so he might be pumping out Banshees, making Stalker, Sentry, Phoenix, says Rageface. Meanwhile, there's a command center now coming from Frozen Shadow. He was building a Banshee, but then he canceled it, so... I don't know.
Well, this guy is the smack-talkingest kid in the whole world, and he hasn't built anything yet. I mean, if they decided to push across them, if my team decided to roll out, which you should roll out right now, they would just pound through that front door and do some serious damage. But at this point, some Banshees are now actually being pumped out. It looks like he held on to his resources so he could build that command center and expand here, just really helping out his ally with building some units. And man, this talk between these two kids, it just seems like your team is setting themselves up for disaster. I feel like Frozen Shadow is going to bring the whole operation down.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's cooking something up. I think he's got these Banshees coming out. He's got this command center over here, which he will use to expand to then supplement his income, which he will then build something with, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps you're right. Are these kids going to roll out of their base or what? I mean, what is everybody doing? They're just kind of keeping their units in their base, being super, super defensive right now. And as Heaven Blue just has a pretty decent-sized force, he's now supply blocked. He's built everything that he can at this point, and just no talking whatsoever between Black Crow and Heaven Blue. They've got to be on a pre-made.
Well, I actually believe, I realize that there's a... Rageface is going crazy. There's Heaven Blue. He's speaking overall. I think that since this is a replay from either Frozen Shadow or Rageface, that's why we can't see them. I realized that at the time, as noob as that is.
Very nice.
Lower your goddamn depot.
Oh, geez, Rageface is going berserk. He might start attacking his ally. He might call to arms and take down his opponent's town hall. He's getting so pissed off. Are you blind? Oh, God. This team is falling apart here, Danny, right before your eyes, before the battle even happens.
It's okay. It's okay. No big deal. Look at those four Banshees and 3 Marines for Frozen Shadow. That is a victory for us right there.
I thought these guys were pretty good as we were starting the replay here, and it's turning out that they are Gosu, in fact, because we have Phoenixes moving across the map right now from Rageface. He's going to go start picking off at the back of this mineral line over here. These SCVs are going to be completely helpless. They won't be able to do a thing. Oh, as these boys are lifting off, they're getting shot by alien spacecraft. That's got to be your worst nightmare coming true. As these Marines move in, though, they're going to rip through these Phoenixes. The Phoenixes need to pull out. They need to get out of there. There's more anti-air than they could even keep track of, losing about 3 Phoenixes in the process, only killing a couple workers. And so that was interesting. Rageface having lost 800 in units there, so he was actually not victorious in that exchange.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the first action of the game here at 10 minutes in, though. Oh, meanwhile, it looks like your team is rolling out here. Your Heaven Blue with a nice bio ball here, as well as just a bit MMM. It looks like he's going to try and take the high yield here as well. So maybe he's just going out to defend that. Oh, he's got a Viking or two. I don't see anything from Black Crow just yet, though. Oh, meanwhile, Frozen Shadow, he's got the planetary fortress, though. Oh, so hopefully maybe that kid's going to be enough. Here come the Banshees.
Here come the Banshees. They're going to come into play. His super secret strategy, the one he put everything on the line for, the planetary fortress goes down immediately. You have all these stalkers left over. Oh, man, there's force fields out the yin yang splitting up this army, but they're still able to form the concave. The Banshees targeting all of those stalkers right now, which is a great idea. Just pumping everything sort of full of lead. He needs to get a couple SCVs over there to heal up some of these Banshees. Some of them are on their last leg, but it appears that Frozen Shadow is going to be victorious here because of the superior number of Banshees. His Protoss allies sacrificed everything so that these Banshees could live, and they need to go ahead and keep pursuing, in my opinion, and keep doing damage, but he's pulling them back, heading back on the defensive. He doesn't want to expose his new expansion here at the high yield once again. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to go get that those paint jobs worked on. He's getting Cloak as it is, as well as more Banshees. Nice protected expo. Rageface says, scan please. Rageface, his face is really, really full of rage. It really is. This guy yells and yells and yells. Scan, please. I hate that guy. This guy reminds me of some scummy guys you used to play with in Warcraft 3. They just ping the map the entire time and just want you to play exactly the way they want you to play. And, oh, Frozen Shadow builds his command center there and then immediately cancels it, building 2 of them here at the high yield. So that's fairly interesting. Looks like he's going to move those to 2 different locations. And it's an interesting place to build it, very close to his opponent. And So I wonder what's going on there. That's kind of strange. Rageface moving out his Stalkers and all of his sentries over there to buy those command centers and bunkers. So it looks like he's just setting up shop here and going to completely wall off this high yield.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what his overall plan is there, but he's also continuing to pump out those Banshees, so I'm sure he realizes Banshees can, you know, destroy everything, so they are the greatest unit in the game.
Rageface moves all of his Phoenixes into all of those photon cannons at the top right-hand position expansion up there, and they just all died. He's only got one left with 10 HP.
Oh, I missed it.
All the photon cannons, they didn't do anything. This one's flying around the town, checking things out. At least he's getting his scout on. I wouldn't be surprised if he runs right into a pack of Vikings, which he does right there. Gets completely annihilated. Rageface pulling up that unit's lost tab. I wouldn't be surprised if he's, way out in front with 3750. He's like reporting to his ally, Mass Viking, Dirk just lost like 6 air units for no reason, and he is going to continue to rage, I'm sure, and he's upgrading his land weapons right now, which doesn't make sense to me. So his strategies are off the charts, and these Stalkers and Phoenixes are reinforcing this up. Oh god! These 2 command centers from Frozen Shadow are turning into planetary fortresses. What is it going to do here?
I don't know. You can't lift off planetary fortresses, so he's just kind of like making a wall. He's like, he says, "Wait, I'm making another command center there, where you just put your pylon down." So he is using his planetary fortresses just as like straight defense. I don't know what he's thinking there. I guess there's not really another way. Well, actually, no. They could just go around this other direction, up this other ramp, so I don't. So I'm not sure if that.
Rageface just blocked his ally. He just blocked his ally. His ally's like, move your pylon. He's like, oh, too late. When he had like 8 seconds left, and Rageface is a complete jerk. Frozen Shadow's just trying to block off this expansion here. These kids are just arguing. They can't decide what they're gonna do. They can't decide whether they're gonna screw over their ally or help them. And this is some really good teamwork from these 2 guys. At least they've kept this thing entertaining. By the way, Heaven Blue just has a giant force of Vikings, Medivacs, Marines, and Marauders over here. He's at 126 over 126 right now. My picks are looking really nice. We have Zealots with
except
the leg
for Black
upgrade.
Crow. 68 of 68, no production. Here they come with the leg upgrade.
Black Crow! Oh, all these Zealots from Black Crow moving over. He's like, this is all I was able to build, 8 Zealots. Oh god, there's a way superior army here. I've got to run. Can I charge away? No, you can't. He's forced to turn around and move into a suicide situation. Black Crow! Losing it all. Oh, my team is looking like they're not doing well, especially Black Crow. Black Crow has 2,500 minerals and only 80 Vespian gases. He's just started to get Vespian gas for both of his expansion and his main. It's unbelievable. He's got a Colossus out here as well. I can't believe how poorly he's been doing, and the fact that I haven't been keeping up with him and how terribly he's doing means that I'm terrible as well. And it looks like this whole army from Heaven Blue here with all these Vikings and Medivacs, what is he gonna do? As Rageface is warping in unit after unit here, Stalkers and Sentries to back this up. I feel like if this goes down on the ground level, there are too many Vikings in play right now. For my comfort, I'd like to see those Vikings start to harass those Banshees. If this is a head-on both armies versus one army, I think Heaven Blue is gonna get taken down.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's got no help from his ally, and look at this ridiculous wall off by Frozen Shadow. This is just unbelievable.
Oh,
like, he actually did put the planetary fortresses at the other wall, at the other ramp. So he's like, I have these high yields. It will be pretty difficult to get past those. Yeah, unless you were to build, some sort of transport, just drop over here.
That's true. That's true. But then all that stuff, is still in the center of the map, and you're still going to be able to control and get resources in that area. So that's always good. He's building more bunkers around it too. Probably a couple missile turrets wouldn't be ill-advised. And both teams are just kind of chilling out at this point. And it looks like a Rageface has dropped down a Nexus here at the bottom left-hand position. So he's going to go ahead and jack that expansion from his ally. And he's moving over probes and Maynard over to that. And Rageface at 111 over 172. And we got an altercation here. A superior number of Banshees going to go ahead and tear up Black Crow's units. As Black Crow units, oh no, they're coming in one by one into this situation. They're getting completely ripped up. Psystorm after Psystorm being dropped down. crazy amounts of Storms, not really killing anything though. He didn't have enough to follow up in that situation as Frozen Shadow and Rage Face completely come out on top there, destroying everything Black Crow had. Black Crow did completely minimal damage, and now he has jumped ahead in the Units Lost tab, the Gosu tab.
We've got action over here. Heaven Blue took out 2 of those planetary fortresses. He's got those Vikings tearing up the Banshees. The Banshees are all cloaked. He is scanning them. They're getting tore up. Frozen Shadow says, we pwned them. I'm not really sure. I don't think we're watching the same game as him. He lost both his planetary fortresses. Oh, I'm lagging up really, really hard here for some reason. There's just too much Gosu, I guess, going on.
Gosu! Both teams are so terrible! Frozen Shadow, what are you doing, buddy? You're moving right into that whole pack of Vikings. Oh my gosh, he is losing everything here. I can't believe it. These kids have gone from, in my book, they went from being not too bad to being awesome. And look at this, Rage Face has this whole pack of Stalkers. You did move back out of the way, not a bad idea there. And now both teams are going to go ahead and regroup. I felt like Heaven Blue could push his luck a little bit more, in my opinion, but he's just going to keep those Vikings right outside the base. A drop would be great. That was pretty amazing that he took down those planetary fortresses, but once again, Frozen Shadow is still reinforced up. What is he going to do here? He's going to take down these command centers as Heaven Blue's dropping down and getting completely on the offensive. But you better lift off those Vikings soon, because those Colossi are in the game right now with level 2 weapon upgrades as well. So they're doing a ton of damage. And wow, that's really going to be a game changer here. The Vikings, though, however, can take those down in no time.
Black Crow attacking with his Colossi. It's 2 Colossi.
Moving in with the Colossi right there on that planetary fortress, though. The SCVs are there for the repair immediately, and now these Banshees are going to be able to get free shots, but that Hero High Templar drives them off. Nice micro there by Black Crow, as he's using the only units that he has right now. God, he's terrible! Moving in, he's like, I can micro 2 units, really good. So he's shooting these this planetary fortress right here, gonna start cutting through this massive defense, and we have this giant force from Rage Face as he's warping in all kinds of reinforcement Stalkers. Gonna go over here and probably respond to this. Your team needs to just crush Black Crow altogether. He's such a nuisance at this point. He's produced so many High Templar here at this cliff. I guess he's just wanting to hold off anything. He's not really using them to his advantage right now, as there seems to be no teamwork whatsoever between Heaven Blue and Black Crow.
Yeah, absolutely not. He does have a lot of High Templar, at least, or some. I don't know what's going on, I guess. As meanwhile, Heaven Blue tried to push in again and was held off, but he did stop 1 planetary fortress, or 1 command center, from getting built. Frozen Shadow sticking with this planetary fortress strategy, just keeps building more and more of them. Those are definitely cost effective.
God, they're cost effective. They're doing so much by sitting there, and it's keeping Black Crow occupied at the very least, as he just keeps shooting that 1 planetary fortress, forcing his opponent to eat up resources. Rage Face, though, look at this gigantic Protoss army. Do something, man. He could move in anywhere, and he'd be able to kill just about anything. Storms are going to be fairly effective against Stalkers, but not that effective. I mean, you got to drop 2 directly on top of them to take them down. And, I'm sorry, more like 3. And this planetary fortress now healed up to back up to full health. Everybody's virtually doing nothing. Black Crow turning all of his High Templar into Archons before he even uses Storm with them. This is terrible.
Oh, here comes Heavenly Blue.
Heavenly Blue coming up the same position he's been coming up before, over and over again. The Colossi are going to get in the game, though. These Vikings, though, focusing down the Colossi. Taking down the Colossi. Wave after wave of Colossi are going to go down. Once there's Colossi, they're still doing tons of damage, though, as they're staying up and running for such a long time. And once these Vikings take down these Colossi, they need to get out of here. There are so many Stalkers in the game. Oh God, the Vikings are just free kills at this point. Half of them land on the ground. The Stalker's going to be able to do massive amounts of damage to them because they're armored. The Pro Blink there from Rage Face. He's saying, can you help me out? Like, what does he mean, can you help me out? He just moved his entire army in there. These guys are complaining so much, and this is so Gosu right now, as Black Crow is attacking with his 3 Colossi now to take down that secondary planetary fortress here in the second, so on the right. So these players are just non-stop assault on the defenses here, and Frozen Shadow now going to be able to get free licks with these Banshees in this situation. But these Archons now coming to use, taking down that Banshee, and Black Crow is actually being fairly useful.
Yeah, surprisingly, just completely left alone. He still doesn't have a whole lot, just a couple Archons and Colossi. There goes one Colossus. So, I don't really know. Frozen Shadow gets his planetary fortresses down here up again. So, maybe his plan is to just turtle up and outlast his opponents, I guess, and maybe have his ally win the game for him?
I guess so. Rageface coming in here with all kinds of reinforcements trying to make something happen. Black Crow able to take them down with just those Archons and those remaining 2 Colossi. And this force is going to be able to move in here, but there's a Colossi right up on that high ground, which is laying down tons of damage. And he's not going to be able to move in by himself. As once again, Heavenly Blue moving up a giant force up this ramp. Every time he moves in, he destroys the 2 buildings out front. Or actually 1 building out front, and then the rest of his army gets killed. Let's see if his fate is exactly the same as it was the other times. He destroyed 1 building, this time smart enough to pull out, realizing he'll get murdered once again with that other planetary fortress wreaking havoc on top of him. Heavenly Blue bringing these Vikings over here, landing them in this expansion that Rageface is trying to put up. Rageface no doubt will be very pissed about that as he's moving in his Stalkers to defend this up. Oh, the Colossi and the Stalkers ripping up those Vikings. I don't know if there will be any survivors, only 1 survivor there, as Rageface just completely has the range advantage, able to shoot over that cliff, and Rageface doing a pretty effective job of defending.
Yeah, and Black Crow just like moving in very slowly with his just like 2 Colossi and a couple of Archons to take out Frozen Shadow. It's just really ridiculous how long they've let this occur, as they just keep, anytime they do anything about it, they just run back to all these photon cannons.
Those 2 Colossi, though, are in quite the situation. He needs to get up that cliff. The second he gets up, though, all those Stalkers are ready. Oh, the Psystorm going down on top of those Frozen Shadow Banshees, loosening them up so those Archons could finish off the Jorb.
Yeah, Rageface angry with his his allies to stop making command centers, make some units so we can attack.
He's like, all right, I'll build 3 Raxes right here. He's making a Raxes over here. He just keeps, he's going with the command center thing. I mean, it's super entertaining. I got to give it to him. Like, he's got balls, and he's building a couple more of them up here in the ramp. He's like, it's been super effective. Move out of my way. Gotta build more planetary fortri. And he's gonna drop in more of them, and I like to see that. It's helping my team out.
I don't know. And then there's Black Crow with like 5 Zealots he just rolled in. That was nice work. Here we go with Heaven Blue.
Oh god, he just sacrificed all those Zealots. That was absolutely terrible. Oh god, doing the exact same thing over and over again. He sends wave after wave of his own men in here to try to take everything down. These Colossi in the back, though. There's so many Colossi from Rageface. They're doing so much damage to these Marauders and these Marines, virtually erasing them from the game. Heavenly Blue, though, doing tons of damage to these Colossi, but all these Stalkers to back them up are taking them down. The Medivacs need to pull out. He needs to cut his losses here. That was complete domination by Rageface.
Yeah, absolutely. And then here comes Black Crow again with the Colossi, forces those planetary fortresses from Frozen Shadow to go down. And he's now moving in with his massive army of like 2 Archons and 2 Colossi. All right, here comes Rageface, the only player in this game with a real army. He says, let's make an army. And here he goes, he's moving in.
He hides back up to the cliff. Get your Colossi up the cliff. All the Stalkers, we're wreaking havoc on these Banshees as everything moves up here. Rageface moving all kinds of Stalkers in here to try to take down this pylon. Who's he gonna take it down? You never know. Rageface, the only one with any real game here, as he's got just boatloads of Colossi in the back, which are actually getting pounded by these Vikings of Heavenly Blue. Heavenly Blue Rageface needs to do something about that, which he is now. He blinked his Stalkers in there to try to take them down, and Heavenly Blue just doing a great job of just picking off Colossi after Colossi. But there's so many of them here, and this could spell the end of Black Crow forever.
Yeah, finally, all it took was Rageface actually, attacking him to take down his massive army, and I don't know what Frozen Shadow is doing. He says there, like he built an army, so looking at the units, he's got, 15 Marines, so that's a pretty good army for 35 minutes into the game.
It is a really good army. Well, but he's got all those planetary fortresses. He just needs to lift them all off and land them next to his opponent and just set up shop. Now, that would be buck wild. That would be amazing. And he's got so many
if you could lift planetary fortresses off.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you can't lift them off. He needs to lift off and then build them in his opponent's base and defend it effectively, which would be damn near impossible. But I want to see him try. And yeah, planetary fortresses are too heavy. And Rageface just continuing to mine here. Look at this units lost tab. Heavenly Blue, having sent in wave after wave of his own men, has lost 263 units this game. Almost more than everyone else combined. He has been, I think that's going to win him the Gosu award for this game.
Yeah, as your team just leaves.
No! Well, at least he got the Gosu award. Oh my gosh. My team was so terrible. Black Crow was the absolute garbagest player I've ever seen. He was pretty entertaining, though, and I gotta say, all these kids, nothing personal, very entertaining replay. Thanks for sending it over to us.
I got nothing to say about this. Just shut the whole thing down.
We're shutting it down. All right, if you want to check out our YouTube channel, click on the blue link here at the bottom, youtube.com/FTWBroadcasting. If you want to subscribe to our channel, click in the center of the heart. That will allow Danny to do a sick dance. Please click that. Thank you for your support. And stay tuned to FTW Broadcasting for more hot StarCraft 2 action.